Good evening. My name is Diana Sanchez, and this is my presentation. A private and a public agency, how they are different or how they are alike in unimportant and important aspects. So, the two agencies that I will be covering for this PowerPoint presentation will be two of our local hospitals. One of them is a federal hospital. It is the Loma Linda Veterans Hospital, which is located in the city of Loma Linda, south east of San Bernardino County. The other hospital is a specialized hospital for children. It is a private hospital located in the city of Orange, which is in Orange County. So the themes I'm going to be covering for this presentation to compare both agencies would be management, leadership, and efficacy of services. As Graham Allison stated, a private and a public agency are similar in unimportant aspects. Comparing these two hospitals, we can see that there is similar ideas when it comes to the foundation of their management structure, how they enforce this or how they practice this to efficiently serve the public or efficiently offer the services to the public or its particular public are different. And that's where the important aspects come from. The idea is similar. The root cause of why they are going certain directions or using certain channels of management are different. For instance, the U.S. Veterans Hospital is dedicated to serve veterans. They don't deny access or eligibility to any veteran. There's certain criteria that veterans have to meet to be seen or get the services from the hospital. It is their constitutional right to receive services, and there are certain Congress statutes or limitations that limits the hospital on the requisites or prerequisites that these veterans need to prove to be seen by or be treated by the hospital, which is a network with 21 service departments. Compared to the federal hospital, we have a private hospital, which I mentioned before, who specialize in treating children. This hospital services 34 departments, and they particularly serve Orange County children. They will not deny service to a child. However, if you are ineligible for Medi-Cal or to pay for the services, they will bill you and collect money from you for the services they have provided. There's certain criteria the children have to meet in order to be treated at the hospital, and there is certain income limitations that the patients have to meet in order to be eligible to be seen or treated at the hospital. Again, both hospitals have a similar foundation. They both have a finance department and HR department, but the statutes and limitations that they go by are completely different. A federal agency like the Veterans Hospital has to be more transparent to its public. Any limitation that present or any argument that they present to its public has to be supported by a Congress passed law. So if a veteran is ineligible to be seen at the hospital because his income is too high, that veteran can take this case to arbitration and they will come up with a solution. Again, every service or any limitation that is presented to any patient has to be supported by a law or a limitation that follows the standards which are under the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. Unlike the federal agency, CHOC is an independently owned hospital, so they make their own rules and regulations. You can take them to court if you don't agree with something, but they are under a business department, so there's certain limitations or criteria that they have to follow as a business rather than a public agency. When it comes to leadership, they have a different idea of who is held accountable for the organization itself. So for the VA hospital, they have a chief of director. This chief of director, this chief director has to be held accountable for both the administrative and the medical areas in the hospital. His salary is transparent and is available to the public. If he or she is not doing his job properly, he can be replaced. There is no time or limitation on time or time frame where he has to be serving a certain amount of years. This relates back to the Pendleton Act, where a merit system is established, which is a process of promoting and hiring government employees based on their ability to perform a job rather on their political connections or who you know in the agency that will get you that promotion. A chief director for a federal agency has to know the foundation of the agency itself in order to be promoted into a higher rank position. If, like I mentioned before, if he or she is not doing his job properly, in this case, they will be demoted or removed from their position. Something that is different for a private agency. On our right side, we have the CEO for CHOC, and she is a CEO that was currently a CEO for another private agency that had nothing to do with the hospital industry. So she basically transferred from one agency to another. Her salary is quite high, similar to the chief of director for the Loma Linda VA hospital. However, as a CEO, she receives something that a chief of director for any federal agency won't receive, and that's bonuses. They based off these bonuses off in this case, it would be off the sales or the average monetary income the agency received on a yearly basis. And that obviously leaves a lot of gaps when it comes to transparency, because not only does she have her set salary, but she also has bonuses, something that the rest of the employees don't have. Something that is not on paper and is not transparently available for everybody else to see. It's something that upper authority is only able to discuss and see. And this is what differs the leadership between two agencies. How transparent, where they derive from to get to their position, are very different channels that they have to go through. The efficacy of services. So as I mentioned, the Loma Linda VA Hospital services veterans, either active duty or retired veterans from the U.S. Armed Forces, and the Chalk Hospital services children within the region of Orange County. The network that the Loma Linda VA Hospital has, the number of agencies that are distributed throughout the country, are significantly higher compared to one private hospital that is servicing children within one county. Then again, that's the purpose of the agency. The federal agency, is trying to reach as many public public veterans that have served, to offer them those services at a very low cost or free of charge. Unlike the Loma Linda VA Hospital, the Chalk Hospital is only offering services to a selective public or a selective community. And if you're ineligible for those services, then you might be referred to another private hospital or a county hospital that can offer you those services free or low of cost. Referring back to Wilson, we can see how these two differ. A federal funded and federal operating agency like the VA hospital is an agency that is expanding or bettering its services to better reach those who need the services throughout the country, compared to a private hospital that is specifically serving a limited or a specific amount of customers. And if you don't fall within that range, then you will be referred to an outside private agency or public hospital. But it's the people that make these agencies grow, and it's the people that make these agencies stronger and wealthier, not monetary wise, but wealthier in the aspect that they enrich themselves, they better the service, and they provide the best they can, or they get the resources or try to obtain the latest technology to best assist its public. In the case of Chalk Hospital, if they are trying to better their services, they have to see it in a monetary side. Is it going to be contributing into the shareholders' pockets to invest in X amount of dollars in the newest technology for chemotherapy, for instance? How much of that is going to be coming back into our pockets? How much of that is that going to expand our services? And what are we benefiting from them? Unlike a public service agency, they're trying to see what are the services, what is it beyond the scope that they can offer for the public, because ultimately that's what makes a public agency. What best service or what other services I can provide for my public, what is to meet their needs and their standards. So once again, agreeing with Graham Allison, both private and public agencies are alike in unimportant aspects. But I think what's crucially important is how they are different in important aspects. that truly determines the purpose of the agency. Once again, thank you for listening to my presentation. My name is Diana Sanchez. Thank you.